What is up, guys? I'm Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, educate you on health and social well-being, and we are officially 1 week out from my next meet, February 16th, or technically 1 week in a day because my meet is on a Sunday, which is a little bit weird. But basically today is my last primary squat day, my last heavy, really more like heavy-ish single of the prep, just because I had to work up to a single at RP8. But no matter what, we're pretty much capping the weight at 210 kilograms, 463 pounds. So basically, even if 463 isn't a true 8, we're still capping it there because that's all we need for today, just to keep my fitness where we want it to be. I already hit 485 last week, which is well within 95% of what I want for my predicted third attempt, and there's just no need to keep pushing anymore beyond that. We already kind of know where my strength is at. Pushing too much at this point would just lead to unnecessary exertion, unnecessary fatigue that we just really don't need right now. This week's all about just managing fitness, kind of tapering things back to get the fatigue lower so that I can feel really good on meet day. And my week setup is going to be a little bit different. I plan to try to take you guys through every single day this week this time around, just so you can kind of see. So as you guys know, usually the way it goes is Saturdays are my primary squat days with my lighter deadlifts. Sunday's my primary bench day. Monday's my secondary squat day. Tuesday, secondary bench day. Wednesday is my tertiary squat day and my primary heavy deadlift day, and then Thursday is my tertiary bench day, and then Friday is my just rest day. Well, this time around, in order to compensate for the fact that I'll be competing on a Sunday, as well as just kind of managing fatigue, as you guys kind of seen, you guys know that usually the way that I peak and taper is I keep all my days the same. So my primary day is usually on Saturday. Usually I have my heavy squats and heavy deadlifts on Saturday, and because I compete on a Saturday, we just kind of taper everything back on the days as needed. We keep the setup of the days the same. But due to the fact that I'm competing on Sunday and the fact that I'm under more fatigue than I've ever been under in a previous prep, we've changed things up. So today, once again, still is my primary squat day, and I'll still have some lighter deadlifts. Then tomorrow will be my last primary bench day, which you guys are probably seeing during this video. I have a single at RP8, so I'm curious to see what I hit on the primary day with the closer grip, since I hit 355 at RP8 on my last secondary day, and I should be feeling stronger tomorrow. And then instead of doing my secondary squat day on Monday, we're actually gonna rest Monday. Then Tuesday, we're gonna hit my secondary squat day, my secondary bench day, and technically my my secondary deadlifts that would be on, or rather my deadlifts that would be on Wednesday will also be pulled to Tuesday. So that way I'm gonna rest Monday, get in squat, bench, and deadlift on Tuesday, just some good healthy volume work, keep my fitness where I want. Then Wednesday, I'll actually be resting again. And then Thursday, my last tertiary bench and squat day. Rest Friday, Saturday, compete Sunday. And we're doing that just to, one, those additional days of rest help get even more fatigue off, and then group the days together in such a way to where I'm not detraining, because I'm still going to be working out on Thursday and just have a couple of days off. I don't like to ever have more than 1 to 2 days off before I compete, because whenever it's more than that, I just feel a little bit detrained, I won't feel used to being under the bar again. But it's still set up in a way where we're getting more of that fatigue off from the additional rest days and then from grouping the days together in the way that they are. So yeah, I'll be taking you guys through that this week with this video and probably a couple others, as well as eventually talking to you guys about what I'm doing as far as tapering my accessory work, because you guys really enjoyed the video over how to program your accessory work. So I'll be talking to you guys about how I taper my accessory work the week of a meet going into it. But yeah, for right now, let's work up to the single. We already know what it's supposed to be, 210 kilograms. Best case scenario, it moves better than an 8, an RP 7, which would be amazing. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't, especially now that I've got it down with toes forward, but not letting my stance be too close. But worst case scenario, if it is an actual 8, that's okay. That's what it's set up to be anyway. And we know that as we taper things off the rest of this week, I'll be good to go on meet day. And honestly, 450, 463 should be an opener. Maybe 485 for a second, 480, 485, and then try to finish off with 501 for that third. So yeah, let's get to it.
What? Right.
All right, guys, so that moved about right where it needed to as far as feeling like an exertion of 8. What I like is, even though I'm not feeling as poppy today, obviously, once again, we're about to taper off, get lots of fatigue off. I felt very locked in. I didn't feel like I was rushing, but didn't feel like I was being too hesitant to the hole. It felt like very tight, locked in, letting the knees track over the toes well, which admittedly is a little bit hard to do with the stance being wide. And that's the thing, I don't want to be too close, but I don't need to exaggerate how wide I'm going either. It's kind of finding that nice shoulder width middle ground and just staying with it and grooving it. But I still got 2 more squat sessions before meet day to really lock the positioning in perfectly. But this is the best that squat has felt on a primary day in, like, about 2 or 3 weeks. So we're in a really, really good spot, especially since the fact that fatigue is obviously higher now than, what it's been. So now we just kind of let the taper take care of the rest. But anyway, got some back down sets. I think it's just 3 back down sets today instead of 5, because once again, we're already going to start tapering things back. And the same thing for deadlifts, just like, I think I just have like 5 back down singles today instead of the usual like 6 or 7. And then, yeah, that'll be it for today. All right, guys, so back downs on squats felt really, really good. I felt like I was able to groove the position more and more from set to set, making sure that I'm like staying in the same stance but toes more forward. Because on that top set, I really was, like I said, a touch wider than where I like to be, which is still better than being too close, because I can at least maintain stability and still get a good drive. But I felt like I was able to really groove where I need to be on those back downs. So happy with those. Now we've got, like I said, just 5 singles with 205 kilograms, so 451 pounds. That's like whatever percentage that is of our max. You guys will see it on screen. But yeah, then after that, we've got some Zercher cable squats today. I don't think I've ever shown you guys that on this day specifically, so I'll show you guys that. And you'll see that it's already a little bit tapered. Instead of doing, it's usually 5 sets of 10 on this day, but it'll just be 3 sets, already starting to taper things back with the accessory work.
This one like actually feels the retraction. This one I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I can't do that. So
Alright, guys, just got through my deadlift singles. Like I said, nice 5x1 today. It was 79%. And what's crazy is, like, everything moved well and felt fine position-wise. But I can definitely tell that I just pulled like an all-time 575 a few days ago. But even with that, this day with that much weight felt easier than any other day on this day with sumo, even with lighter weight. So that lets me know that, so there's more confirmation that we made the right move as far as that. Just positioning feels good and consistent. Anyway, about to finish up with some Zercher cable squats. Like I said, instead of 5 sets of 10 today, it's going to be 3 sets of 10 to kind of start tapering things off. And then that'll be it for this workout, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, guys, so you can see bench warmers moving very, very well. Being back to my closer grip with pinky on the ring, it's just feeling very strong, very stacked, very consistent. And the best part is, aside from, like I said, like everything I went over in the last video, like, no pain, no irritation, I can just stay in better position. I can stay very tight and rotated, which is allowing me to have that faster eccentric so I can load that kinetic injury faster and be more explosive on the chest. Because I told you guys like a couple videos ago before I made the switch back, I was having problems with that with the wider grip in general. Like even when it wasn't causing any irritation with my left scapular region or my shoulder, like it's just harder for me to get that faster eccentric because if I go too fast, I'll lose position. Whereas with the closer grip being as tight as I am, I can go, you know, nice, smooth, fast eccentric, and I'm not losing any position or tension. So that was 308. Gonna probably go to 330 next, and then just keep building up until we find the single at RP8. Since I hit 355 pounds in that last video on my secondary day at RP8, and hit 358 pounds at like RP like 9.5 on Sunday beforehand, that kind of lets me know how much stronger the close grip is. So I'm hoping that worst case scenario, I hit 358 again like I did last Sunday, but that it moves much, much better, or that I beat that. Because based upon the 355, I should be able to have more than that on this day, feeling better, assuming that fatigue's not too crazy, which my bench just doesn't fatigue the same way that squats and deads do, so should be good.
Start. Press. Rack. Start. Press. Rack. Start. Press. There we go. Right.
So with 352, I was a little bit slower with the eccentric than what I like, just because I think the 2 reds and blue in my mind still has me being like, oh, hesitant. But after 352, I was like, why am I hesitating? Like, I got this, it's nothing. Put on 363, came down much faster, felt amazing as far as my speed coming down and power off the chest. The problem is, as you guys may have heard, is that I forgot to change it for Michael's rack height. Now, that used to not be a big deal when I was using the max grip like Michael. Even if I was on his rack height, I could still make it work. But because I have a closer grip and my lift off is like a lot more of like a press off the rack, it just threw my positioning off a little bit. I wasn't quite as tight as what I wanted to be, so 363 didn't move quite as well as what I like, but I'm still happy with it. The fact that I was able to grind through it with where fatigue is at, with where the fact that I was on Michael's rack height has me feeling very, very good, because it lets me know that you know, bare minimum 368 should be there for a nice small PR on meet day, and if everything's feeling good, 375 will fall. So yeah, we're in a good spot. About to knock out these back downs. I've got 5 back down sets of 2 instead of the usual 7 back down sets of 2. Instead of 10% less on my top set like last week, it's going to be 14% less. I'm charging you $17 in your goddamn short measure rack height. Alright guys, so you just saw my first and last back down set of 5x2 or 314, and even though it's very different weight, very little difference in weight from what I did last week, it felt so much better with the closer grip. I just have so much more drive, and that's another cool thing too. Even though it's a long range motion, it's just easier for me to grind through it, as you guys saw in that top set, right? Like even with being on the wrong rack height and losing some of that scapular positioning with having to press off harder, I'm just able to drive through so much better. There's less room for error with the max grip, because if you misgroove something and you lose balance or stability, or you lose any scapular positioning, you can't really drive through it as well, at least for me anyway, right? So next we've just got our accessory work, nothing you guys haven't seen before, but you'll just notice that I'll have on screen that everything is 3 sets instead of the usual 5 or 4, because once again, tapering everything off by like cutting back everything by a couple of sets, as well as adjusting the RPE on certain movements. so that's pretty much it for the workout, and that's pretty much it for the video. All the hard work is done, man. Today was my last heavy bench day. Like I said, I'll be showing you guys later this week what my Tuesday and Thursday workouts look like, but it's just taper work from here on out. Make sure I stay on top of my sleep, my eating, stay just very well rested and recover up until meet day. And I'm excited for it. This is definitely like the best meet prep I've had thus far, despite how, like, you know, the past couple weeks, week and a half went, just in terms of like the fatigue buildup. Everything is still as it should be. I feel like my strength is right where I want it to be. It's the strongest I felt and the most confident I felt going into the meet. So nothing left to do but get these last couple sessions and then show up on meet day and smash it. That's it. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go and comment down below, let me know what you did. If not, leave a comment down below, let me know what can be better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.